The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of WBGR Network. Any questions or concerns about what is said should be directed to the show host, whose information will be provided upon request.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Shane Hector from the No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show. We're back in the building once more. Same old story, different day. Well, actually, different story, different day. And it's lovely to talk to you guys again on this lovely Saturday morning in September. And, ladies and gentlemen, I got a lot to talk to you guys about because of, unfortunately, a lot of unprecedented events have occurred, especially for these nice little Patriots fans. You know, I love, it's always funny to, talk to anybody from the New England area, me being born and raised there, but I mean, I'm just going to keep it a buck. This past situation, it ain't looking too good, for New England right now. That number to call this morning is going to be 301-429-9247. That's going to be that number to call. Alright? Now I want you to sit back, get some coffee, get some eggs, bacon, whatever it is that you do in the morning. Sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy a good show this morning. Alright, so let's jump into the topics. So I want you guys to take a look at the topics right above. So I'm going to show you what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to talk about the Pats. Can they go undefeated? And what are their toughest teams on their schedule? We're going to talk about the Skins. We're going to talk about Martin Truex Jr. And then we're going to talk about these two right here. Now, this is where it's going to be funny. Okay? Now, I don't know why we got these two dudes out here, because this dude is definitely not Alvarez, but it is what it is. But we're going to get straight into it. The Pats. Oh, New England. Every time, when you think that the Patriots are going to do anything special, you would think, for the love of God, that the Patriots just couldn't do any worse. Just when you thought, right? So here's the situation. The Pats right now have one of the best offenses in the league after they dropped 33 in their first game and then 43 in their second game. So they dropped over 76 points while only allowing 3 points in their first two games. Okay? So right now, the Patriots defense is the best defense in the league because they only allowed 3 points in their first two games. Okay, now granted, we could always say, well, we didn't expect y'all to beat Pittsburgh like that. But here's the thing. Y'all should have known they was going to beat Pittsburgh like that because of the fact that Pittsburgh ain't got nobody. Antonio Brown is gone. Le'Veon Bell's gone. And all the Patriots had to do was honestly double Juju Smith-Schuster. Like, that was easy. Like, any good defensive coordinator that's worth anything should know all you got to do is double Juju Smith-Schuster because the rest of them bums on that offense wasn't going to do anything. I'm sorry, because Big Ben wasn't going to do anything. And on top of that, he's hurt. He's playing hurt. So there was no way on God's green earth you could tell me that the Steelers was going to beat New England. And on top of that, he ain't got no running game. James Conner ain't going to cut it. Conner is not going to cut it. Pittsburgh can be mad all they want, but at the end of the day, there was no way on God's green earth that was going to happen. Now, it is what it is. Game's over. It is what it is. Now, let's look at the Dolphins game. I'm predicting this right now. I said that the Dolphins were not going to be a good team, which, by the way, and about a couple of weeks, I'm going to come out with something, and I want you guys to get ready because I already have it ready. It's going to be really fun. So get ready for my surprise. Okay? So here's the situation. The Miami Dolphins, they're on an alert right now. There's a severe threat alert that they are most likely to finish 0-16, maybe 1-15 at the very most. They're okay. They could say they're not tanking the season. Yeah, you are. You're definitely tanking the season because you need a quarterback. Y'all need a quarterback bad. And on top of that, most of your defensive players, they want to leave. And that told me everything I need to know. I'm like, son, y'all gonna trade Minkah Fitzpatrick to the Pittsburgh Steelers? Really? Y'all really gonna trade that man to the Pittsburgh Steelers? Y'all are disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Okay? I feel bad for Xavier Howard because this man want to win. And I'm like, he one of the best DBs in the league. At this point, he need to go. He need to go. So, there's that. So here's the situation with Miami. Right now, dead last in defense, obviously, because they gave up 59 their first game. Okay? 59 their first game. And gave up 43 in their second game. That to me is just beyond crazy. And if somebody else drops 40 on them in the next game, I'm just gonna say that to say this, that there's really like no point in the Dolphins even trying to play this year. No point whatsoever. It is what it is. Getting back to the Patriots. The two toughest teams that I feel like is on their schedules right above me, the Ravens and the Chiefs, and I'm gonna explain why. The Ravens right now have is one of the toughest defenses in the NFL, especially since, even though T Sizzle left, that boy Matthew Judon is a monster. Okay. And then, what's even more crazy is that when the Patriots face a team that's got a good front seven, especially like the Ravens on the back end, it's just crazy to me. And then there's word on the street, Jalen Ramsey of the Jaguars is the most likely fit for the Baltimore Ravens, considering Jimmy Smith. We all know that fool. That fool always gets beat like he stole something. So it is what it is. But this is what I say. If the Ravens can somehow get Jalen Ramsey, they will be most certainly in contention to try to beat the Patriots in the AFC. Most certainly. Do I think they could beat New England? No. But they're definitely going to put up a fight. Like, the New England's going to have to limp out of that stadium because they have to go to Baltimore in order to win that game. So there's that. And then the other thing is Lamar Jackson is playing at the top of his game right now. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks, but I like the way this kid's playing. And, like he said, it's not bad for a running back. Because everybody always thinks he's a running back just because he's an African-American quarterback and he's tall and, and he's a mobile quarterback. And it's like, this dude is 6'2", 220 pounds. Got a laser rocket arm. Laser. Okay, the things that I saw him do on Sunday against the Dolphins was like, wow. And then what I saw him do in his last game was amazing. I like what I see in Lamar Jackson. If he plays like this for the rest of the year, he's not only going to get 4,000 yards passing, but he's definitely going to have at least 30 plus touchdowns, at least. Last year, and then on top of that, the kid's a winner. The kid is 2-0. Okay. The kid is a winner. As long as he could, and if he is it, and I say this to say this, Lamar Jackson right now is about to be, there's going to be a new rivalry in this NFL, and I firmly believe it's going to be Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, which is arguably the only two teams right now that can contend with New England. So this is why I was saying the Chiefs are the only other team that could come close to beating New England, and here's why. Patrick Mahomes threw 50 touchdowns last year. That was cute. He still had to play foot. And then, on top of that, the kid's a winner. Okay? The kid is a winner. As long as he could, as long as he is it, and I say this to say this, Lamar Jackson right now is about to be, there's going to be a new rivalry in this NFL, and I firmly believe it's going to be Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, which is arguably the only two teams that can contend with New England. So this is why I was saying the Chiefs are the only other team that could come close to beating New England, and here's why. Patrick Mahomes threw 50 touchdowns last year. That was cute. He still had to play foot. he still had to play football when he had to play the Patriots, because when he played the Pats not once but twice last year, he got beat both times. Although one of those times, it was kind of the fault of the defense for letting them down in that game, but it is what it is. That's not on the Patriots, that's on the Kansas City defense. Never again, because their new defensive coordinator, and I want people to understand who this is. Okay? Because I kept wondering, how is it that this man keeps finding a way? Okay? Steve Spagnuolo. I want to throw that name out there to any of you guys and anybody out there. Who is it? Who knows who he is? Steve Spagnuolo is the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. But what people have to understand is he was also the very same man who was the defensive coordinator for the New York Giants when they stopped the Patriots from going undefeated. Okay? I want people to understand something. Steve Spagnuolo knows how to get to Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. He knows how to do it. He knows how to get to them. He knows how to beat them. And he knows... And what people have to understand is... And what people have to understand is, this is a guy that, I don't care what anybody say, he is going to bring the noise to the Kansas City defense. Now, the defense was not, the best last year. I mean, they were 31st in the NFL. They're 31st in the NFL. Like that was bad. So, but now with Steve Spagnuolo there, that defense is going to only skyrocket. Now, you got to remember, if it wasn't for him, we'd be talking about, the Patriots going 19-0 in that 2007 season, okay? And the other thing is, what people don't understand is he also was the defensive coordinator on the on the defensive staff for the Baltimore Ravens. That's just what it is. I mean, he had a brief stint with the New Orleans Saints. And I say to people that, look, this man is the truth. So, and oddly enough, here's what's crazy, what people don't even realize about Steve Spagnuolo. Steve Spagnuolo is from New England. He's from Whiteville, Massachusetts. So that's where he's from. Okay? So this man knows how to beat New England. But I don't know if he has the talent to beat New England. Now, is it possible the Patriots could go undefeated? It's very possible. But the problem is, with AB being gone, I'm not going to lie, the chances just dwindle completely. Not going to lie. Because when I compared the 2007 team to the 2019 team, here's the similarities I see. The quarterback is still the same. But let's look at the receivers. Randy Moss, 6'4", 210, ran like a 4.28. You got Josh Gordon, who's 6'3", 225, and he runs about a 4.3. Okay? Then you had Wes Welker. Okay? And now they got Julian Edelman. Now, Julian Edelman is definitely bigger than Wes Welker, so that's part of the reason why I think that this roster of receivers is a little bit better. And then they had Dante Stallworth. Well, before AB left, got released, I would have said, all right, well, that's the Dante Stallworth, just 3 times better. Now you're going to have to lean on Jacoby Myers. Now, Jacoby Myers is a rookie, okay, that came out of one of the bottom rounds of the NFL draft. Okay, so I like where this team is going. But if anything, they'll put Philip Dorsett in that third slot. So you got a first round pick in Philip Dorsett, okay, because Philip Dorsett was a first round pick out of the U from the Colts. So there's that. Then you got Julian Edelman. Then you got Josh Gordon. And these guys can flat out fly. The only problem is I'm just not so sure if they can hold up with all these other teams. But again, we will see what happens. Do I believe New England could go undefeated? It's possible, but I'm going to say as of right now, since AB's gone, it's unlikely. It is very unlikely. I feel like the Patriots right now most certainly will finish 14-2. And then on top of that, because when you look at the running backs, the Patriots got much better running backs than what they had back then. Back then they had Lawrence Maroney and a bunch of, no-name guys. And now the Patriots actually have Sonny Michel, James White, Brandon Bolden, Damian Harris. They got running backs for days. And I mean so they'll be able to run on anybody. That's pretty much it, and there's that. So with that being said, we shall see what happens with New England in this in the next 5 games. And then after the 8th game, we'll have a different conversation and see where the Patriots are. So, real quick, folks, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, I got more stuff to talk to you guys about this morning. Don't go anywhere on the No BS Show.
Hello, and welcome back to another Breakfast Mojo. I'm your host, Comedian Coy, and we're about to eat some breakfast. So come on, follow me. It's already set up. This is what I heard, so I have no idea what's expected. All I know is it's breakfast food, so let's see what it is. I have no idea what it is, folks. No idea. Here we go. Oh, wow, look at this. Legends. Okay. They got the thing all set up here. It's chicken and grill. So we're going to see what the chicken is right now on the Breakfast Mojo. What do we have here? Chicken. And what else do we have here? Okay, waffles. Okay. So the chicken kind of threw me off because I'm like, it's breakfast. Hello, this is a Breakfast Mojo. Chicken and waffles. Got my syrup here. Should have been blindfolded when I was doing this breakfast. But let's see what it's like here. Wow, looks good. It cuts easily. Got a little white powder on it. Some butter. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see what it's looking like. At least you could have had the fork and the knife match each other. You know what I'm saying? But it's okay. Let's see what it's like here. Here we go. Not bad at all. Let's see what the chicken is like here. Got, some of y'all are saying, why don't you just pick it up and eat the thing? You know what I'm saying? Okay, here we go. So we got the... Very basic. Nothing fantastic. I wonder if I can do 2 reviews. One for the chicken and one for the waffle. I actually like the waffle. I think the waffle is very good. The batter is very, what do you say? A little bit on the sugar side. The chicken, on the other hand, could be a lot better. I'm not really happy with the chicken as much. I don't think the chicken actually makes the waffle any better. I think the waffle actually complements the chicken. You know what I'm saying? So for my review, I will say breakfast brilliant for the waffle and breakfast blah for the chicken. If I were to do it separately. So that's all the review that we have. Thank you so much for tuning in. Look, what is your favorite waffle place? Do you have a chicken and waffle spot that you normally go to that you can recommend? If you do, write it in the comment. Let folks know, okay? Don't forget to subscribe. Breakfast Mojo. Take care.
And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to talk about the DMV because I definitely got to talk about the Washington Redskins, especially since they're local. And depressing. Okay, maybe not depressing, but here's what I got to say about the Washington Redskins. For anybody who's been watching the Redskins games, I think this is probably one of the teams that I'm like, how do you have this kind of talent and you mean to tell me you can't win not one game? This is what bothers me about the Skins. You put up 21 points, okay, in your last game. You put up 27 on the Philadelphia Eagles and you lost by 5. So I'm just trying to understand something, okay? Because I'm like, there was no reason why the Redskins should have lost to the Cowboys, but I know why they lost to the Cowboys, because the Redskins, like they always do, keep getting in their own way. And part of the reason why they keep getting in their own way is because of Coach Jay Gruden. Yes, I know some people in the organization, they may not like what I'm saying right now, but I'm just going to flat out say it. The dude needs to be fired tomorrow. Not yesterday, fire him, not even tomorrow. Fire him yesterday. Okay? Let me tell you why you need to fire him yesterday. Because for some strange reason, you can only tell me, let's look at Jay Gruden's resume. Since he's been Redskins head coach, how many times did they make the playoffs? I really can only think of one time they actually made the playoffs, and that was when they had Kirk Cousins. That was it. That was the only time they made the playoffs under Jay Gruden. Because before that, it was Mike Shanahan, you know, he had RG3 and blah, blah, blah. Then they bring in Jay Gruden, and he gets rid of RG3, which is, you know, understandable, because unfortunately RG3 became a shell of himself at that point, because, you know, you didn't really do anything to help him. I mean, you really didn't. There was nothing you could have done. Now, granted, RG3 had a bit of, you know, an ego at the time, but, you know, you didn't really do much to help him either. It's like, you know, I think what bothers me about a lot of coaches, and this is what bothers me, is that you have a guy that, let's be honest for a second, right? You have a guy who pretty much was borderline, you know, pretty decent quarterback. You had a decent quarterback in RG3. You got rid of him, shipped him off. Then you ended up with Kirk Cousins. He had a couple of 4,000-yard seasons. It was just a little bit. He had a couple of 4,000-yard seasons with the Skins. Problem was Kirk just wasn't winning. But see, now that I'm thinking about it, I've been really just going back. I don't believe that Kirk Cousins was the problem. Jay Gruden is most certainly the problem, because Case Keenum, I'm like, this dude is lighting up defenses. He's straight up lighting up defenses. And for some strange reason, the Redskins find a way to lose. It's something that tells me one thing, and one thing only. It's definitely coaching. I'm going to tell you why it's coaching. Because the Redskins defense, okay, let's go, you know, because I always tell people, you know, let's go to the stats, right? The thing that bothers me about the Washington Redskins, okay, and I've been saying this, and everybody thinks I'm crazy. I'm like, there's no reason why this Washington Redskins team this year should be where they are. Now, they're third in the NFC East right now. I want people to understand this, okay? This is what bothers me. They're ninth in offense. They're ninth in the NFL. I want people to understand that for a second. They are ninth in the NFL in offense. So they have a top 10 offense with a number 30 defense. And that's according to ProFootballReference.com. So I want people to understand something about this team. I don't understand how you have a top 10 offense and you're 0-2. But you got a bottom 30 defense. So, and I hate to say it looks like a bottom 30 defense. That's what's sad. That's what's sad. What's sad is, like, you can definitely tell it's a bottom 30 defense. But hey, who am I? I'm just the guy that's just analyzing the situation. I'm just saying. I'm just the guy analyzing it. You know, it just looks like, to me, there's no excuse. It is what it is. But what can you do? So, now for any Skins fans out there, you lost your first game 32-27. Then you lost your second game 31-21. You're about to face Chicago at home, okay? So Chicago don't really have that great of a football team, because let's be honest, Mitch Trubisky's a bum. Shout out to Mike Curry watching. Thank you, sir, for watching the show. So for the Chicago Bears, now I want people to understand this, because I know people are going to ask me, What do I think of the Redskins' chances against the Chicago Bears? Well, based on the eye test, what the eye test has been telling me. What the eye test is telling me is Jay Gruden still needs to go, because based on these stats and based on these mediocre stats, that's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna pull a Chris Carter here. Based on these mediocre stats, there is no way on God's green earth that you could tell me that Jay Gruden should still have a job. It's just impossible. I just don't get it. There's no reason why that man should still have a job. Because if Marvin Lewis can make it to those playoffs all those years and be fired, Jay Gruden most certainly can go. And it's like, you've had a lot of time to get this team together. You had more than a couple of years to get this team together. That's the thing that's really killing me about this team. Okay? So, with that being said, and then on top of that, you got a lot of people who are out. Okay? Jonathan Allen, we don't know if he's playing. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie just went on IR. Okay? Darius Geis out. Okay? Straight like that. So, what it's going to come down to is this. When they face the Bears, I'm not feeling that game. That's a Monday night game. They'll be under the lights. And if Chicago finally gets that offense together after finishing, is it going 1-1? Is it because right now they're 1-1? They lost their first game, won their second. If Chicago gets it together, Skins, you might want to be somewhere else. And what's really even more appalling and crazy to me is the fact that the Skins offensively have a really good team. They have a good offense. They may not have the prima donna receivers out here and stuff like that, and they don't have big game guys out at the receiver position, but you have some talent where you can make plays. Okay, you can definitely make plays. And on top of that, you definitely have, Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson was a 1,000-yard running back last year. Now, I didn't understand the benching him. He had 1,042 yards last year. He put the team on his back. And so it looked like it was that team was on its way. You're about to face a Bears team that is hungry right now. Now, the thing is, out of 32 teams, they're third in the NFL in defense. No surprise there. But when it comes to the offense, this is where it gets funny. The offense is number 30 in the NFL. So I guess All right, so the Battle of the Bums is going to be on Monday night. So the question is who's gonna come out on top? Is it going to be the Skins? Or is it going to be the Bears? Now, my money's on the Bears. Because I just can't trust the Skins to get it together until that coach is gone. Jay Gruden just need to go. I'm calling him out. I'm saying what needs to be said. Jay Gruden needs to go. He needs to go bye-bye. Go bye-bye, go to bed, go to sleep, and matter of fact, just go be Jay Gruden someplace else. Go back to arena football or something. Go do that. Or maybe you can go to the Canadian Football League, but you ain't going to cut it in this NFL. That's what it is. Because like I said, that dude is trash. Straight trash. And if you need a coach, you can call Chuck Pagano. You call Lovie Smith. Lovie's still out there. Lovie's down there in Champaign, Illinois. Shout out to Mr. Brian Gibson. Thank you for watching the show, sir. If the Skins want to do anything, now again, folks, the number to call is 301-429-9247. Now, Case Keenum, I still believe should start. No question. Even if they fired Jay Gruden, I still believe that Case Keenum should still start because of the fact that, like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna put Dwayne Haskins in this, plug him into this offense, knowing full well this boy will probably get killed. I ain't gonna do that. And then Trent Williams, well, there's that. You know, everybody could be like, man, we want Trent Williams. Well, Trent Williams is holding out till you get that money. Because he know what time it is with Danny Snyder. He knows what time it is with Danny Snyder. And that's another dude that need to go. Somebody need to force a sale from that dude because he don't need to be the owner of the Redskins anymore. He don't need to be the owner. He need to go. Like AOL. Goodbye. So, with that being said, Redskins fans, you know, I get it. You know, I get it. I understand it. I overstand it. But, let's be real now. Skins just ain't that nice. So, really quick, folks, I'm going to take a quick commercial break. When I come back, I'll have some more stuff to talk to you guys about. Don't go anywhere on the No BS Show.
WBGR Network Client Appreciation and Networking Event.
What have you gotten out of this Appreciation Day today?
Well, this has been a wonderful day. I'm really pleased to be able to network and meet so many fabulous people that are on the WBGR network. It's really amazing, all the wonderful talent and all the wonderful programs that WBGR showcases every day. It's been a tremendous blessing to me to be here.
Look at the bright white canvas that's sitting in front of me that's blank, and I get frustrated because I can't think of any images to make. I'm discombobulated, trying to find the right words to get articulated, speech becoming modulated. I guess what I'm trying to state is, I'm tired.
This is the moment where you do the little snaps on there, because this needs all this. I wish I could make my toes snap.
Amazing event, WBGR, and this event is tremendous. We have so much talent.
And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Truex Jr. For any of you race fans out there, I need you to understand something. This dude is on a mission. I mean, he emerged out of nowhere, and I kept saying to people for the longest, I don't know how this man just come out of nowhere and just say, you know what? I'm going to take this title. He won his first playoff race as of this season. And then what's going to make it even more interesting is how these playoffs continue. Because the truth is, and I've been saying this for the longest, do not sleep on the guy that Is it do not sleep on the guy that everybody was like, yo, I didn't think that he's gonna be doing that. Yeah, well, you should have thought the other way. Because now Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, and all them boys, yeah, have fun with this dude. Because that dude's coming. Have fun with him. Let me know how it goes. Because see, the funniest thing is about him is, you know, when he was the Monster Energy Series champion, you know, only 2 years ago. That's the thing that gets me. He only did it like 2 years ago. Okay? And what's going to be even more crazy is, and why people got to understand this dude was an Xfinity Series champion back in between 2004 2005. But in 2017, you know, that all changed for him. So what's going to end up happening is you're about to see this man go to work. So watch the man at work. Now, the next race is going to be Richmond. Okay? They're going to be at Richmond. Because Richmond is about to be real fun. It's about to be real interesting. And what's even more crazy, okay? Now, I want people to understand this. Because I love racing. Everybody who knows me knows it's going to be interesting. Now, Brad Keselowski already won the poll. The provisional poll. Okay? So, Richmond is today. Okay? Richmond's today. And it's going to be really fun. It's going to be really interesting. And it's going to be one of those races. Now, the last time I was at NASCAR was at Pocono. Yeah, I know a lot of y'all saw me out there. And so here's what I'm going to say about Richmond. Richmond is only a 0.75 mile course, okay? That's only it's a 3/4 mile course. It's not that big. It's not that big, but it's a fast track. Okay? It's a very fast track. Okay? And the thing is, this race is going to be interesting. It's going to be at 7:30 tonight. Now, a lot of you will probably be watching college football. But if you're a true race fan, watch tonight's race. It's going to be interesting. Fastest car right now on the track was Brad Keselowski. Right behind him is Kevin Harvick. Chase Elliott came in at third. Kyle Busch will start fourth. Clint Boyer will start fifth. Denny Hamlin will start sixth. Eric Almirola will start seventh. Martin Truex Jr. is going to start eighth. He's driving a Camry. The Fords are looking like they might end up taking this race. So most Ford drivers, there's only 4 of them right now in the top 10 that qualified in this particular race. There's Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, Clint Boyer, and Eric Almirola. And there's only 3 Camrys actually, and 3 Chevys. Now the guys who get the Chevys, y'all have fun with that. I'm pretty sure y'all not gonna be able to, really do much, unfortunately. And then one of my favorite drivers, Bubba Wallace, he way at the bottom of the pack, so he ain't got no chance and can be to even come close. But he's had an up and down year, so it is what it is. Now Kurt Busch is a guy that I will watch out for at this track, and because of the fact that he's gonna be looking to make some moves. But the issue that I see with this race, this is going to be a trap race because Brad Keselowski is pretty good at this track. He knows this track in and out, and I can for sure see him winning. But there's only one person that I feel like he's going to find a way to make things interesting. And I like to call him the sleeper because he's always been my sleeper to me. Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson in this race because he likes these short tracks. Because the thing about Kyle Larson, little do people realize, he does dirt track racing, so he's very, very good at short tracks like this. So this is a guy that I will watch out for. Now he's starting 13th in this race, right? If you've seen Kyle in dirt tracks, he's won at dirt tracks, especially as of recently. Okay, so he's very good at driving in dirt tracks. So when you put him on a track like this, that's on asphalt, it's on pavement, And a fast card like this, I can almost be certain that he's going to make some moves that nobody's going to be expecting to make. I firmly believe he's going to make some strides in this race. And what's going to end up happening is a lot of guys are going to be mad at the end of this race. They'll be like, well, you should have thought about Kyle Larson. Because this dude ain't no bum. Never has been a bum. So I would for sure watch out for Kyle Larson in this race. Now, he didn't qualify as fast, but don't get it twisted. Do not get it twisted. Kyle Larson is gonna make it happen. I firmly believe that. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting, and I'm just trying to tell people it's going to be a wild one in Richmond. Now, for those of you who are nearby, Richmond is only an hour and a half away, because if you because if you're near 301 Highway, you can literally just ride 301 all the way to Richmond. You ride 301 to Richmond. There you go. You get to just take it all the way there, and you're good to go. So I'm about to end this on this note. Martin Truex Jr. starting 8th. Now, he can most certainly win, but the guys I think he's going to have to watch out for, most certainly Kyle Larson, and he's going to have to watch out for Kevin Harvick if he wants to get back to being series champion. And if he's to win series champion this year, then what's going to end up happening is that's going to be twice in 3 years that this man has become the Monster Energy Series champion. But that's what I got to say about that. So, I'm going to take a quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to end the show on our last topic about Alvarez facing this dude. So don't go anywhere. No BS show.
Hello and welcome to the Breakfast Mojo. I'm your host, Comedian Koi. We are back. Once again, this time it's King versus Clown. The clown, which we're talking about here, is none other than McDonald's hotcakes. And now we're going to also try the Burger King sweet syrupy stacks. Look at the box. Isn't that cute? Little box. All right, so we're going to try and see which is going to be the preferred pancakes, McDonald's or BK, Burger King. So it's nice and hot. So let's see what happens here, folks. Let's see what I'm going to give a review. So they come with 3 stacks, as you can see. 3. Oh, look at the syrup just oozing. Okay. Let's try this. Let's make a comparison. I need some water. These are falling apart. McDonald's, they didn't fall apart at all, but these are can't even really keep their form after pouring syrup on them. There's definitely a distinct taste between the two of them. Similar, but yet distinctly different. But I noticed that Burger King pancakes are a lot more sweeter by itself. The syrup, it really doesn't need syrup. It really does taste like a cake, literally. McDonald's, on the other hand, really not much to go off of. It just tastes like bread. It's really your preference, folks. Do you want hot bread? Or do you want a stack of cakes? Because that's what it tastes like to me. So here's for my review. I'm gonna give this a breakfast booty. I'm gonna give it a breakfast booty. It's a breakfast booty. And I'm gonna give McDonald's a breakfast blah. Because there's really nothing fantastic, even with the syrup added to it, and even without the syrup, there's really nothing fantastic. I could at least say that BK does have a distinct taste without the syrup, which is more sweet, if that's what you prefer. So, would it be the McClown or would it be the King? Let us know at the Breakfast Mojo on WBGR Entertainment. I'm your host, Comedian Koi. We'll have some more stuff coming your way. We're going to even visit a chef that's going to cook for us, and we're going to eat it, because that's what we do at the Breakfast Mojo.
And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, an unprecedented event has occurred. Canelo Alvarez. This is funny to me. This is hilarious. I actually think this is probably the most funniest thing I've seen in a long time. Why a middleweight fighter will want to move up to light heavyweight to fight in a whole different weight class, okay, against one of the best fighters in that class. I never understood it. Now, I'm just maybe because in the art of transparency, you know, matter of fact, in the art and grand scheme of the blasphemy that I've seen. If Alvarez is trying to be the Spanish version of Money Mayweather, dude, go home, sit at home, and understand that you're probably not going to beat this dude. Now, if you beat him, you prove me wrong. But I'm going to be talking all week because I don't understand. I don't understand this. You're about to face one of the best fighters in the light heavyweight division because Sergey Kovalev, this dude is not no slouch. Let me tell you why he ain't no slouch. Sergey, first off, like, the man knocks dudes out just to knock dudes out. Okay, that's what he do. Look what he do. Okay? The man has 34 wins. Only been knocked out 3 times. Lost 3 times. 2 of them by knockout. But he has 29 knockouts in his career, and he had and he only had like 1 DQ. Okay? Actually, not even a disqualified. Did not finish. So it is what it is. So the thing is, I'm gonna say that to say this once. It is what it is. This dude right now holds the WBO for the light heavyweight. Okay? This dude from Russia. Or as they say, Mother Russia. Okay? 36-year-old man. Okay? Lives in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Okay? Like I said, light heavyweight fighter. He's an orthodox fighter. He's 6 feet tall. Okay? 6 feet tall. With a 72.5-inch reach. Okay? I think this is what bothers. I'm gonna tell you why. This is a very problematic fight. I'm gonna just be real. To all my boxing fans out there, especially my boxing fans who are on my page, okay. I want my boxing fans to understand that you know, when it comes to boxing. You know, when it comes to boxing, you can't just sit here and tell me that you can't sit here and tell me that this dude is ready for prime time. It's just not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. And you know I think what makes it even more crazy to me is you have a fighter like Canelo Alvarez. Now, I'm not saying Alvarez is not a good fighter because he's won 52 fights. You know, I'm not going to take that away from him. You know, but the thing about Alvarez, you're going from a middleweight class up to light heavyweight. And light heavyweight ain't nothing to play with. Okay? You won 52 fights, 35 by knockout. Okay? Only lost 1 fight in his whole career. Obviously, we know who he lost that fight to. He lost that fight most certainly to Money Mayweather. And notice he ain't, and ever since then, you know, he's been winning. And then, of course, let's be real, he shouldn't have beat Triple G, but, you know, we're not gonna get into that. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, for him to get that, but and next thing you know, he fights Triple G a year later, and unfortunately, you know, I don't know how the judges went that way, but they did. Then he fights these two basically mediocre fights. Rocky Fielding, we already knew he's going to beat that dude. And then he's going to fight Daniel Jacobs. He's going to beat that dude too. We already knew it. So, now he's about to move up to... Now, I want you to think about this. Okay? Sergey Kovalev is 6 feet. Alvarez is only 5'8". That's a huge difference in height. It's a huge difference in height. Number one, with Kovalev having a 72.5-inch reach, is going to really be the difference maker. And on top of that, he has height. And this dude, Alvarez, 5'8", with a 70.5-inch reach. First off, if I'm Kovalev, I'm most certainly going to use my reach to my advantage and keep and be able to keep Alvarez at bay. Because what Alvarez is going to try to do, he's going to try to come at him with some power punches, especially when it comes with that right hook. When he comes with that right hook, he's going to have to find a way to defend against that. Kovalev is going to have to find a way. But I think he should be able to defend it, because the thing is like I said, when you have a long reach, you can do a lot of different things. You know, you can tap him with that jab. After you tap with the jab, you might be able to come with an uppercut. And if you come with a nice, really good uppercut, because I hate to say this, one thing I do know about Alvarez is that if you punch him enough, he breaks down. But you have to punch him enough. Because the one thing about Alvarez that he's very good for is his power punches. And he's a very good counter puncher, because he learned a lot from that Mayweather fight. Because the one thing he learned in that Mayweather fight is that counter punching was what almost got him to win that fight. Because when he fought Money Mayweather, I mean, he got embarrassed, but he rocked Mayweather enough to shake Mayweather and be like, whoa, I'm not so sure if I want a rest of this smoke. Okay? So with that being said, who I got winning this fight? I definitely got Kovalev winning this one. If Alvarez beats this dude, I would be highly surprised. I'm not going to sit here and lie to any of my boxing fans out there. I firmly believe that that would be something to be like, whoa. You know, how did this happen? You know, that's just what it is. And, you know, and I've seen, like I said, I've seen a lot of craziness before, and I've seen a lot of boxing fights. But one thing I will tell you about boxing is when you got two guys, especially one of them who's been in the light heavyweight class throughout his whole career, whereas a guy like Alvarez was coming from middleweight up to the light heavyweight class in order to fight a particular fighter. I hate to say this, dude, you are setting yourself up for failure, because the last person to do that killed their career. And I'm going to throw him out there because he's my favorite boxer of all time, Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. was a light heavyweight fighter. One of the fastest fighters I've ever seen. I mean, lightning fast. I mean, every time he threw a punch, he would throw by the time you realize he threw a punch, he already thrown like 10 punches, because he shoots so fast with his punches. The problem with Roy Jones, where he went wrong in his career, was when he decided he wanted to go fight in the heavyweight division. Okay? And the problem is, when you go from light heavyweight to a heavyweight division, which is today's cruiserweight division, because the cruiserweights are between 195 to like 200 pounds, and then after that is, if you're 200 pounds plus, you're considered a heavyweight fighter. But light heavyweight is between 180 and about 190. So when he decided to go up in a weight class to the heavyweight division, he found out that those dudes in that heavyweight division, they some really big dudes. Like, these dudes are linebackers boxing. I mean, look at Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is a linebacker boxing. The same thing with Deontay Wilder. That dude is a linebacker boxing. 6'7", like 230. Same thing with Fury. 6'6", about 230, 240. Okay? These are some big dudes. They're not some small chumps that you just find on the street. These guys are some brawlers. So when talking about boxing, you have to be careful as a boxer to move up in class, and because when you move up in class, you're fighting a different class of fighters who have been beating dudes in that class. And you're going to go from middleweight, which is a big jump, to light heavyweight. That's a big, big jump. So we'll see what happens, and like I always say, it is what it is. And so that's why I say to everybody, you've got to think about it like this. I'm glad this fight's happening because, boxing is getting some serious glory. And when you take a look at some of the other fighters that's in these divisions right now, there's nobody that's really standing out because we know that Fury wants Wilder so bad. We already know that. We already know that he wants what he wants. He wants Fury very bad, but we don't know when that fight's gonna happen, when that rematch is gonna happen. But now that he fought this last dude, it ended up working out. Now the rematch date, we're gonna end up finding out when the rematch date is gonna be. So, we do know this though. Preliminary results do show that Fury and Wilder are probably gonna fight sometime next year. Definitely sometime next year in 2020. And so, since we know that, I want everybody to get ready because that's probably going to be one of the biggest fights of the century. Because we've seen a lot of great fighters. We saw what happened when they first fought the first time, and it ended in a draw. Okay, because clearly Wilder got the 2 knockdowns, but Fury, let's be real, was kind of taking them to school. So if Wilder can find a way to beat this dude as it coming out the gate, then it'll be what it is. But when it comes to Kovalev and Alvarez, I'm not even thinking about this fight really, because let's just be real, I don't see how Alvarez can win. And he might be listening, and that's fine, but I want him to understand. You're probably not going to win this fight. You're not going to win. So don't waste your time. You're just not going to win, my friend. It's not a good idea. Just go home. Just go home back. Just go home. And don't do anything crazy. Because if you do anything crazy in this fight, I can tell you right now, Kovalev is going to eat you alive. Eat alive. Now, throwing out the stats one more time for Alvarez. 52 fights. Won. 35 of them won by knockout. Lost 1 fight, okay, due to the fact that he saw Manny Mayweather and it went to a decision. So, with that being said, if anybody wants to call and debate me about Alvarez and my man Kovalev, by all means, be my guest. But at this point, there is no way on God's green earth that Alvarez is going to beat Kovalev. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you for watching the show this morning. So I enjoyed discussing these, and thank for everybody who tuned in and commented this morning. So I want to thank everybody for that. So I want everybody to do me a few favors. So I want you guys to go to the Facebook viewer group. Go to the Facebook viewer group. Go to No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show viewer group. So I want everybody to go to that, comment on the page. I'm actually going to be rolling out some things that I want people to pay attention to, that I want people to comment. And this next coming week, I want people to tell me, what topics would you like me to discuss? This is for the fans of the show. I want you guys to go ahead and throw those suggestions out there, and whoever puts their suggestion out there and I'll take them all into consideration, and I'll try to mush it all into one, and it's going to be a fun show next week, okay? So that's what I want you guys to do this week. The next one, go to the YouTube page. No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk Show YouTube page. For those of you who can't catch my show between 8 and 9 o'clock this morning, you could go ahead and look at that. And then that way you can go back and look at past shows. Also, follow my blog on Blogger. No BS, No Holds Barred Sports Talk.blogspot.com. Look at my articles, because I've been posting some articles and I want you guys to go ahead and read those. I got some more stories coming out, especially with this Antonio Brown situation and why the Patriots have released them and stuff like that, and some stuff about University of Maryland as well. Also follow my social media at insane_Shane29, underground SB29, my Instagram shiz_2029, no BS, no holds barred, underground sports LC.blogspot.com, and then my Facebook, Shane Hector. And then, if you want to advertise with the show or advertise with WBGR Sports, go ahead and email me at undergroundsportsllc@gmail.com. So please make sure you email me there, and I will most certainly respond as quickly as possible. So, Team No BS, thank you guys so much, and shout out to my homegirl Kia. I'm gonna miss you, because I know you won't be doing my show anymore. So shout out to you, and thank you for all of your hard work on my show every week, week in and week out, and waking up in the wee hours of the morning. So I want to thank you wholeheartedly from the bottom of my heart, and thank WBGR. I thank my team for really working hard on all these graphics. This is me, Shane Hector. No BS is out of the building. Peace!